masterclass on how to capitalise on an already successful home console, the PS1, the PS2 was not only leading the way for next generation consoles at the time, but it also captured our hearts. Boasting a huge library of third-party titles with iconic exclusives such as God of War, Ratchet and Clank, and the ever-beautiful Shadow of the Colossus, the console also integrated successfully other devices such as the iToy and the PSP. So without further delay, I'm James from GameCast, and this is the origins of the PlayStation 2 and the evolution of gaming. Though Sony kept details of the PlayStation 2's development firmly under wraps, work on the next generation console began around the time of the original PlayStation's release in 1994. The hardware used the Emotion Engine CPU, a custom designed processor based on the MIPS architecture. Come 1997, the hype train kicked in. Word had leaked to the press of the PS2's development, and that the console would have backwards compatibility with the original PlayStation, much to the delight for those who had already built up a massive PS1 library, also sporting a built-in DVD player and internet connectivity to allow for online multiplayer. Sony officially announced the PlayStation 2 on the 1st of March 1999. The video game console was positioned as a competitor to Sega's Dreamcast, the first 6th generation console to be released, although ultimately the main rivals of the PS2 were Nintendo's GameCube and Microsoft's Xbox. The Dreamcast itself launched very successfully in North America later that year, selling over 500,000 units within 2 weeks. However, it didn't have any trouble in the long run, as the PS2 is the best-selling video game console of all time, having sold around 150 million units worldwide, as officially confirmed by Sony. The huge success of the PS2 at the end of 2000 caused Sega problems both financially and competitively, and Sega announced the discontinuation of the Dreamcast in March 2001, just 18 months after its successful Western launch, foreshadowing the longevity the PS2 would have. Of all the 6th generation consoles, the Xbox had the most powerful hardware, while the GameCube was the least expensive console, and the Nintendo changed its policy to encourage third-party development. While the PlayStation 2 theoretically had the weakest specification of the three, it had a head start due to its core following plus strong developer commitment. While the PlayStation 2's initial games lineup was considered mediocre, this changed during the 2001 holiday season with the release of several blockbuster games that maintained the PS2's sales momentum and held off its newer rivals. Sony also countered the Xbox by temporarily securing the PlayStation 2 exclusives for highly anticipated games such as Grand Theft Auto series and Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Throughout its lifespan, the PS2 has undergone many revisions, some only of internal construction and others involving substantial external changes. Sony later manufactured several smaller, lighter revisions of the console known as the Slimline models in 2004. Initial reviews in 2000 of the PlayStation 2 acclaimed the console, with reviewers commending its hardware and graphical capabilities. Demand for the PlayStation 2 remained strong throughout much of its lifespan. In 2005, the PlayStation 2 became the fastest game console to reach 100 million units shipped, accomplishing the feat within 5 years and 9 months from its launch. Overall, over 155 million PlayStation 2 units were sold worldwide by March 31st, 2012, the year Sony officially stopped supplying updated sales numbers of the system. A successor, the PlayStation 3, was to be released in 2006. However, the PS3 would still face stiff competition from its big brother for years to come, as many of us were reluctant to let the nostalgia of a generation go. Looking back, the PS2 captivated my mind, introducing me to great fantasy worlds like the Lord of the Rings and the ever-complicated mind of Hideo Kojima and his Metal Gear series. I often found myself blowing my whole weekend away, not even realising the shifts from night to day, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. Let us know what you think of the PS2 in the comments below, as we are sure it captivated you as it did an entire generation of gamers.